Another one we see him play out in public is Gunna. Um, I think this situation is different because I think many people believe Gunna to have been a person of certain stature to where he wasn't someone who was a kid who had no involvement in the streets or didn't live by the code of the streets. I think many of his fans and many people who, were fans of just the lifestyle he lived and the people who around him lived believe that they all came from the same type of environment and follow those same code and ethics. And so when, YSL got arrested on their RICO indictment, the two biggest names that we saw was Young Thug and Gunna because they are two of the biggest rap artists. And so when we fast forward a couple months and we see Young Thug is going to trial and Gunna is on the other side of those prison walls, people start to speculate whether or not he snitched, the terms of, how he got out so early and different things like that. And he has to live with that. But the common theme and the common problem I see within both of these situations is idolization. I don't want to get too biblical or religious in the podcast, so I'm not. But I know the Bible speaks about, idolizing men, and, about how you just shouldn't do it. And I think that's where the problem with all this comes from is that, I spoke about in episode 117 that despite people attaining the status of, celebrities and stars and different things like that, at the end of the day, they're still human. They go through human experiences. They may not live the same day to day as us. Their bank account may be 10 times, 20 times larger than ours. But at the end of the day, they're still human beings. They go through certain experiences we go through. They still deal with emotions like we do. They still have feelings like we do, and so on and so forth. And so when you remove that human aspect and you start to idolize them as, and I wouldn't say as gods, but when you idolize them, in a sense, you are looking to them as gods. And so people place these celebrities and these rappers on a high pedestal because of the life that they live, the things they're talking about in their music, the cars they're driving, the houses they're living in. They think that, wow, those people are above us. Although we are all human, we are at this level. And because this person has this much money and they're living this type of life on Instagram, they are at this level. And so when you start to idolize people, you uphold them to a certain standard. And when you idolize people, the biggest thing that comes from that is that more times than not, you are going to be disappointed because you're looking to them as guys or these larger than life figures. And so you expect them to be perfect. So when you have a rapper like 6ix9ine making this really aggressive music, aligning himself with Bloods in the neighborhood of I believe it was Brooklyn they were from, you start to believe that, oh wow, not only is this kid music good, but he's a gangbanger. So now this is someone who I can pattern myself after, or this is someone I can take a liking to because he's a larger than life figure. He's untouchable. Same thing with Gunna. Although Gunna doesn't make that type of aggressive music, Gunna makes really good music, and he surrounds himself with that Atlanta rap scene to where people make aggressive music. And so people place him on this higher plateau to believe in that, wow, he makes a lot of money. He has some of the biggest hits. Some of his friends are some of the biggest rappers within that area, and they make those type of music. And so we place him on this plateau. And so when he gets released earlier, that is most notable co-defendant, we start to question, wow, wait, how are you out and he's still in? What, there's a disparity there. Y'all were indicted on the same charges, and some of these charges y'all are indicted together. And so people are disappointed because they held these people, and those are not the only two examples, but those are the most prominent examples I can think of at the moment. But people start to think like, wow, I held you to this higher standard, and you are not who exactly I believe you to be. So now they're disappointed. So now they're leaving rat emojis in their comments. Now they're speculating and tweeting about whether someone is a rat or not, or offering this information about whether this person ratted, the terms of how they got out earlier. And there's just so many things in culmination of that, and that all boils down to idolization.